Welcome back to my channel. I have been surprised at the number of emails I have received by people across the country who have asked me what I carry in my backpack on my hikes. So today I'm going to take apart my backpack for you. But before I start, I want to show you two nifty things I picked up recently. The first is this shirt. I picked this shirt up from the Teton Wasatch Ski Company, locally based company here in Utah. And also the other thing that's really nifty, I got this as a Christmas present. My wife bought me a pair of Grand Canyon hiking socks. How cool are they? So let's get on to the backpack. Now, I've already taken apart, in the interest of time, I've already taken apart two of the tools that I bring with me in my backpack. One of them is this multi-tool, and this multi-tool actually, if you can see it, has a pliers, wire cutter, crimpers, also has a file, a knife, a larger screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, smaller flathead screwdriver. It has a Phillips head, an awl, a can opener, and also a serrated blade that's good for cutting knives and cutting wood. So that's one of the tools I take with me. And I augment this tool with this other nifty little tool, a small hatchet. Now obviously I won't be felling any large trees with this small hatchet, but it will help me split kindling in the backcountry. In addition to that, it has nail pullers built into it. It also has a Phillips head, two Phillips heads and a flathead screwdriver that fit into the top of the hatchet, sort of like this. So I can use that as a tool. And it comes with another knife blade. I have 3 knives with me, another knife blade. It comes with a file. It comes also with needle nose pliers, wire crimpers, and wire cutters. So I bring these tools with me inside my backpack. This hatchet is really sharp. So let me get onto the pack, tell you what we're doing here. First of all, this is not what you would consider a survival pack. I've designed this for 2 reasons. The first reason is for ballast. I want to put as much weight on my back when I'm hiking to put my legs through a pretty good cardiovascular workout, just to build up my stamina and the strength of my legs. But in addition to that, I also have built this backpack to keep me safe for about 24 hours, because that's the longest I would expect I would have to go without being rescued, at least as I hike in the mountains here in Utah. Now the reason I say that is because I always let someone know where I'm going. I always let them know when I'm going to be back. I always park my car prominently at the trailhead so that searchers would know exactly where I started. And I always stick to the trail that I say that I'm going on. And so I would expect that if I break my leg or I blow out a knee or have some other kind of injury, that within 24 hours they'd get to me. So I really am focusing in on 3 things in my pack when I'm in the backcountry for emergency purposes. 1, I want to stay dry. 2, I want to stay warm. And 3, I want some ability to be out of the elements. So that being said, let me jump in and I'll show you what I've got. On the exterior of my backpack, in the wintertime, I carry my yak tracks with me. These are really good for going through the snow. And I carry them on a very heavyweight carabiner. I actually have 2 heavyweight carabiners with me, steel carabiners with me. On the other side of my pack, I carry some hand sanitizer and also some suntan lotion, also being held by a couple of lighter weight carabiners. I know it seems funny carrying suntan lotion with you in the wintertime, but the reflective ability of the sun off the snow really requires that. You can get a sunburn in January. Okay. In addition, on the outside, I carry a bear bell with me, and I carry a survival whistle. This has got a number of tools built into it. It comes with a compass, a rescue whistle, And when you open it up, I also have matches and a striking flint. I actually carry 5 different ways of making fire with me in the backcountry, because I'm going to stay warm if I have to do it overnight in the mountains. Now, on the front of the pack, I also carry my bear spray with me, and I also carry another compass with me. And I should say, because I hike in Utah in very active cougar country, I also carry a 9mm with me when I'm out in the backcountry. So, that takes care of the exterior of the pack. Now, one of the first things that I have, that I carry with me, that I get ready access to, is a rain jacket. Now, this rain jacket obviously will keep rain and snow off me, but in addition to that, it can also act as a backup windbreaker for me if I need it. And that's all that I have in that particular pouch. Now, going into the next pouch, I have a lot of things in here. The first thing I carry with me is a pair of gaiters. Everyone knows what gaiters are for. Essentially, they're designed to put over your hiking boots or your snow boots, and they will keep the snow off out of your shoes and out of your pants. In addition to that, I also carry, this is just a holdover from the summer, but I carry 2 tubes of insect repellent. This is a small tube, my second set of matches. These are water repellent matches with a striker flint inside, so that I can use those in any kind of weather. Also has some combustible material on the side. And in addition to that, in another part of my pack, I also have some tinder. I carry rope with me. This is 30 feet of paracord. I'm actually going to be trading this out next week. I'm going to something called para-tinder. It's like paracord, but they've woven it in such a way that the center braid of the rope is actually a combustible material that you can use for tinder if you need to start a fire. Now, having gone through that, we'll go into the next section of the pack. This, by the way, is called an outdoor products pack. I've had it for about 5 years. Pretty nice pack. Comes with a lifetime guarantee, and you can see that it's pretty spacious in terms of the things I put in here. Now, again, you've heard me say that one of the things I want to do when I'm in the backcountry is I want to stay warm in an emergency situation. So one of the things I carry with me is a wool sweater. This is actually a repurposed wool sweater. You can see that this sweater has been eaten by moths over the years, but it's still warm, and it's good for backcountry hiking. And rather than throw it out, because it's got so many holes in it, found another use for it. So I carry a wool sweater with me. In addition to that, I carry a second windbreaker. Now, this is heavier duty than the rain jacket would be, but in addition to that, it also has certain technical features that the rain jacket doesn't have, including the ability to ventilate under the arm, keep the wind off you, but also allow you to not overheat. So I carry a second windbreaker with me. I also carry an emergency water container in this section of the pack. I carry a vest with me, which is just a great way of keeping heat on your torso when you're in the backcountry. And finally, I carry a heavy-duty fleece sweatshirt with a high collar, keep the wind off my neck. This is as warm as toast. So if I combine this, for example, with the vest and a windbreaker, I can really withstand some really cold temperatures and not have to worry about hypothermia. So that takes care of that section of the pack. Then we get into more survival gear. I have an emergency blanket with me, but in addition to that, I also have a lighter weight sleeping bag with me made of this emergency mylar material, and I have a heavier weight sleeping bag with me. So if I got into a really, really cold situation, I could get into the lighter weight sleeping bag, and then from there insert into the heavyweight sleeping bag to increase my insulation against the cold. In addition to that, I have one more piece of cordage. I've got about 100 feet of heavier weight paracord, so I'll have plenty of rope when I'm in the backcountry. And one of my most important possessions in the backcountry, I have a very, very good first aid kit. I've added some things to it. I've added some additional aspirin, an ace bandage, an additional gauze pad, a better pair of scissors, and that first aid kit is really nice, fits beautifully into the backpack. And that covers my interior compartments of the pack. Now, in my side compartments, I carry readily accessible water with me on two of my side compartments, so I can actually drink this water when I'm hiking, but it gives me a fairly good water supply. Again, remember, I'm just building this for 24 hours. And then on this side pouch, I have a pair of earmuffs, I have a pair of gloves, and I'm carrying a watch cap. It's a nice watch cap. I like this red watch cap. Pretty visible. So I wear a watch cap. And that pretty well takes care of that side of the pack. And on this side of the pack, I carry my handheld tripod for filming when I'm on the trail. And what else do we have in here? Oh, one of my special survival tools. This is a saw. And I have I think you can see my cat here. This saw is designed to help me fell branches, fell trees, so I'll definitely have enough wood and kindling in these mountains. And that covers my side pouches. And then we only have one more pouch, and this is a pouch where I carry a lot of stuff. This is my top pouch. Okay, so the first thing I carry in here is extra food with me. Got 2 packages of extra food with me. Protein bars, candy bars. I carry toilet paper with me. Can never have enough toilet paper in the backcountry. You can use that for a bandage, you can use that for kindling, and also use it for its intended purposes. I carry about 10 zip ties with me. Not only can these be used to help repair your equipment or repair problems with your clothing, but they can also be used as loops and hooks. Oh, here's the fun addition I carry with me. I actually carry 2 of these plastic bags with me. And the reason I do that, I know this is going to look dorky, but the reason I do that is if you're in the backcountry, you're getting caught in a storm, rainstorm, snowstorm, it's essential that you stay dry. And the Swiss have an expression that you get wet, you die. So in an emergency, not only can these serve as their function as a bag, but in an emergency, these are also water repellent. And as dorky as this looks, and I know how dorky it looks, you can actually put it on your head. It'll keep your head dry, keep the rain and the snow from getting in through your cap and getting your hair wet and losing that kind of heat through your hair. So I carry 2 of those with me in case one should tear. Okay. So I also carry an extra container of brown colored TP. Now, the reason I do that is, in the backcountry, sooner or later you're going to have to go number 2, and you should bury it, but I find this brown colored TP is much more, blends in better with the environment than the white TP, which really is kind of unsightly. Okay, and I carry a rag with me because you'll never know how you might need to use a rag, and a little bit more TP. You can never have enough TP. I carry some extra food with me, additional food. Basically what I carry with me for food are candy bars and protein bars. They're, they give you a lot of nutrition, they don't take up a lot of space. And then finally, A couple of other things. This is a small container that I bring with me. I keep this more readily accessible. I don't mean this to sound maudlin, but the reality, as you all know, is that I am well into my 72nd trip around the sun. And you know too that I take some pretty strenuous trails that I hike, and there's always the risk of heart attack. So I keep a package of aspirin very close to me at all times when I hike, because I want to be able to get to the aspirin quickly if I should have a heart attack, because frankly, getting to aspirin quickly and getting them adjusted quickly could mean the difference between surviving a heart attack and not surviving a heart attack. So I carry that with me in addition to the aspirin that I carry in my first aid kit. And then the last piece of equipment that I carry I carry this little container with me. Probably can't see it, but this little container actually has tinder in it. And believe it or not, what this tinder is, I'll just open this up. Simple tinder to make a fire. I usually carry a little bit more with me. But all this is dryer lint, which is actually very flammable. You mix it with just a slight coating of Vaseline, and it will take a spark very well and get a fire started quickly. And then in my final pack, in here, I have an extra set of reading glasses, which are really important, because you start to look at that fine, small font, and that's very, very hard to read. I carry this really nifty flashlight with me. It doesn't take a lot of space, but you can see it acts as a flashlight, but it also acts as a very bright lantern for you too. And this thing, oh my God, these things have about like 40 hours of light in that battery, so they're pretty good. They're a pretty good emergency flashlight to have. You purchase this on sale at Harbor Freight Tools. I think it cost me $2.99 for that. And then I carry my knife, my primary knife, with me. As you saw, I have two other knives in my multi-tool and in my hatchet. But I also carry this knife with me, which comes with both a blade and a serrated edge. So that serrated edge can be used for cutting wood if you need to, but more importantly, it's used for cutting rope. It's effectively used for cutting rope. So I bring my knife with me, and my final piece of fire starting equipment, a piece of magnesium with a ferro rod on it, and I can use my knife blade to get sparks that way. And added to that, I also have a lighter, which would be my primary source of ignition while I'm in an emergency situation. I particularly like this kind of lighter because it shows me exactly how much lighter fluid I still have in the lighter. And finally, a very important piece to take with you is chapstick. You just don't want to be in the backcountry and get chapped lips. You don't want to be out skiing chapped lips. So you take this with you, and it will add to your comfort. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all that I carry in my backpack.